is our Christmas dinner, and this is an opportunity for a lot of people on board the ship to change roles.
All aboard. We've got a serious party going on a Feel-Good Friday tonight, live at 5.
Now, from the ATV News Center at every city and town in the Maritimes, this is the ATV Evening News, live at 5.
Good evening and welcome to Live at 5 for Friday, the 9th of December. I'm Nancy Regan.
And I'm Paul Meunier. Here's a look at some of the stories ATV reporters around the region are working on for tonight's show.
In Halifax, 'tis the season for the good old-fashioned Christmas office party, but 'tis the season to keep your wits about you. Some anecdotes and some advice later in the show.
I'm Sally Cummings in St. John. What's hot and what's not for holiday wear this year? I'll have some fashion tips coming up.
I'm Dan McIntosh in Country Harbor, Guysborough County. You want to talk home Christmas decorations? Wait till you see what's inside this home. We'll visit later on Live at 5.
He took you traveling through time. I'll take you traveling through space. Advance of the man.
And also ahead, this maritime performance of A Christmas Carol is a lot more than entertainment. We'll take to the stage to find out more later.
And cyber sounds. Find out how this maritime group is using the information highway to transport their music to future fans the world over.
And it's been an incredible week for highlights and lowlights. We'll roll the wacky videotape we call the Plays of the Week later.
All coming up on the Friday edition of Live at 5. First, let's check in with Steve Murphy, working on the ATV Evening News at 6. Steve.
All right, Paul, we have a desperate rescue attempt underway in the North Atlantic today. The seas are choppy. It's a rough day out there, and 31 sailors are the object of the rescue efforts. The crew abandoned ship about 1,200 kilometers southeast of Halifax. They're Ukrainian sailors on board the cargo vessel Salvador Allende. The vessel started taking on water. They had to get off. At last word, they're desperately clinging to lifeboats and debris. Live coverage from the Rescue Coordination Center ahead tonight at 6 o'clock. Also on the evening news tonight, desperation of a much different kind. Details of the teen suicide problem in the Sydney area. 2 teens have already taken their own lives in the last month, and tonight, this man, the dad of one of the young victims, tries to stop others from taking their lives. His story at 6. And the police campaign to crack down on drinking and driving is in full force. We find out how the campaign's going. Of course, it is the time of year when more Maritimers are out attending social events and might be tempted to get behind the wheel after having, well, let us say, one too many. The police are out to stop you. We'll show you tonight at 6 o'clock. Right now, over to the ATV Weather Center and Phil McLaughlin tonight. Phil?
Well, Steve, today much more user-friendly than yesterday's windy, blustery weather across the Maritimes. We saw a fair amount of sunshine in most areas. But at the same time, we're watching a system coming at us from the Great Lakes to bring us, well, I'm going to say messy weather over the weekend. When I'm back later on Live at 5, of course, all the weather details. Steve?
Phil McLaughlin's forecast at 5:30, of course, and then at 6 o'clock tonight, all the day's top stories, including 3 people, 1 job. Is it a possibility the maritime provinces, might one day become one province? Well, with the renewed threat of Quebec separatism, some Maritimers think the idea of maritime union should be given another serious look. What do you think? The story is coming up tonight at 6. Right now, Paul and Nancy on Live at 5, guys.
Thank you, Steve.
And first at 5 tonight, your guide to getting through the final 16 days before Christmas. Yeah, folks, it is that time of year. Time for family, friends, good cheer, and, oh yes, the good old office Christmas party.
Partying with co-workers can be lots of fun. It's a great chance to interact with colleagues on a more relaxed basis than you're accustomed to at work. But just how much should you let your hair down at these bashes? Heather Proudfoot now with a look at party etiquette. Heather.
Hey, just call me Miss Manners. I did learn one thing today, though. Just about everybody's got a story about the office Christmas party. And in keeping with the generosity of the season, we decided to keep some names out of these anecdotes.
On behalf of the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Ozu, and the Board of Directors, we thank you one and all and wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yes, the notorious office Christmas party. It's even hit the big screen. While this scene in Die Hard ends in utter disaster, the regular office party can have its moments too. Diane from New Glasgow knows of a widely watched videotape from one office Christmas party.
One girl got up and she was pretty tipsy and she got the boss up, and he was kind of a lady lover anyway, but I don't think he was ready for what she had in store for him, and she got up to do a dance with him. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't have wanted to been his wife at home to watch that video.
And how many people have said this after a Yuletide office bash?
One too many, you think you're still fine, and then you wake up the next morning thinking, oh, what did I do?
At this personnel company, they're planning their Christmas party for this evening. The manager here acknowledges that sometimes some people do or say things at office parties they regret later.
You don't want to say anything that you're going to regret the next day.
But Debbie says the nature of some workplace parties are changing. Less free booze, for instance, more designated drivers. Other measures are being taken too.
Years ago, companies basically didn't invite spouses, and that's definitely changed now. Spouses are invited to a lot more things, conventions, parties, and Christmas parties. They also
tend to keep things tamer?
Sure it does.
Another key piece of advice is to set boundaries on a number of fronts. This psychologist says it's a good idea to decide beforehand how much, if anything, you're going to drink and stick to it. Set other boundaries, too.
It's good to kind of ask that. Is it okay to say this or do this, even in the normal, everyday work environment?
Remember, the people you may be partying with are people that can influence your career. And rules about things like harassment don't disappear just because you're in a party environment. On a very serious note, police say the night of the office party has now surpassed New Year's Eve as the night most notorious for people getting in trouble.
Well, most police can tell you that as far as drinking and driving goes, it's definitely the worst time of year is around the Christmas office party.
So again, there, police want to emphasize the importance of the designated driver. Now, not to be a party pooper, I guess the advice is to go out there, have some fun, but mix your drinks and your socializing with a little bit of good sense. Paul.
Yes, a little temperance. Now, any stories of people losing their jobs at Christmas parties, you know, who went just completely out of control?
I didn't hear any of those stories today, but you know, Oprah had a show last year which was titled, I Ruined My Career at the Office Christmas Bash, and she had some horror stories on that show.
Yes, I remember that episode. All right, thank you, Heather.
Thanks.
And try and keep everything in line at your Christmas party. Nance?
All right, so the invitations have started pouring in for all the season's parties and get-togethers. But you may be wondering, what am I going to wear? Well, not to worry. We sent Sally Cummings out on a shopping spree today to find out what's hot and what's not this year. She joins us live from St. John. What'd you find, Sally?
Well, Nancy, nobody wants to walk into their Christmas or New Year's party dressed as a fashion don't. But don't worry, because I came up with lots of ideas to solve all your holiday wardrobe dilemmas.
Christmas party on Friday.
So what are you wearing?
I don't know. I need a new dress.
Not going to buy anything new this year?
Couple of suits for work. That's about it.
Nothing in your closet for your holiday gala? Don't get stressed out. There's plenty of ideas if you just look around.
What's been selling the most, like such as these little short things here like this, with the thigh highs and whatnot.
And not expensive.
No.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party.
Ta-da! How are you making out?
What do you think? Is it me?
There we go.
And this outfit wouldn't be complete without
a belly button clip-on.
And the great thing about this outfit is it really has two looks in one. All you have to do is undo the belt, untuck the tunic, and voila. And don't forget the kids.
I think it's just beautiful. This is Little Nugget.
Okay, so this is what's hot for ladies' fashions?
Yeah, this and shorter gowns.
But long is into off the shoulder.
Off the shoulder. Flowing, pearls.
Alvino's wearing a tux without the bow, but there are plenty of ties to choose from, even ones with Santa Claus.
Actually, we're almost sold out, so rushing quickly.
And how about a new holiday do?
And it's the time that you feel special anyway, so may as well go all the way.
We checked with the Canadian hairstylist champion to see what's big this year.
You'll see a lot of hair pinned up this year. Even short hair will be pinned up, and we'll be putting in a lot of hair pieces to make the hair even appear to be longer than what it is.
And don't forget the accessories.
The patent is really in now for the Christmas season, and the suede. Colors, people want colors, and the funkier heels.
Now those are funky. And last but not least, it wouldn't be a party unless you get there in style.
Now, you can rent that limousine for about $100 an hour, and if you split it with a group, it's really quite affordable, and you can make quite an entrance. Nancy?
Now, Sally, I've been taking a lot of notes here, but just recap for me, would you? What's in and how expensive is it to be in?
Okay, this year, what's in? Sequins are big, slip dresses, those thigh-high stockings, very long, slim skirts. And today, one of those dresses I tried on was as inexpensive as $39.99, and that man's suit can cost up to $1,200.
And tell us the truth, Sally, how much did you buy?
I put a few things on hold, but I'm not going to say which one of those outfits.
All right. We'll wait and see at the Christmas party. Thanks very much, Sally.
Okay, bye.
Of course, holiday fashions aren't restricted to clothing. For many Maritimers, this is the weekend to deck the halls in preparation for the Christmas season. Whether it's old family favorites or new decorations, the lights and colors of the holidays will be on display. Our Dan McIntosh went looking for what's new in tinsel and how one Christmas lover fills her home.
We got some lights. What do we have here anyways? We have some ribbons. Dan, the most important thing, a tree stand. Put the tree on.
Yeah. Have you got a tree yet?
Oh yes, we got the tree in. Got that this morning.
Put the tree up this weekend and everything. Need a stand for that?
Yeah.
What makes a good stand? What are you hoping to get? Probably one of these big plastic ones hold lots of water.
Even a tree for fishermen over there, fishing stuff on it.
You a fisherman? Would you be interested in that tree?
Oh yeah, I'm a champion fisherman.
People used to buy boxes or sets of ornaments, and that used to do a person. You would get 2 or 3 different boxes, but now people are buying a new ornament every year, or they're buying ornaments as gifts, or they're buying ornaments for their friends or teachers, or a number of things.
Well, I usually look every year to see if there's something different I like, but I like the little apples, little red apples, you know, you hang them on the tree. The lights kind of reflect off them, makes it look like there's more lights.
Well, many of us will take the opportunity this weekend to decorate our homes for the Christmas season. Few, if any of us, will go to the lengths of one Christmas lover living here in Country Harbor. Walking through Susan Smith's home is like visiting the North Pole, with decorations in every corner of every room, even the bathroom. It's not a seasonal job. This is a year-round love of Christmas.
I guess I'm just a little girl at heart. I love it. I love everything about it. I like big red bows. I like shiny things. I really can't explain it. I just love it. Maybe it's an obsession. I prefer to call it a hobby, but I just love it.
In Country Harbor, Dan McIntosh, ATV News.
Now, Susan Smith's got herself quite a home there.
I guess so. I guess I've got a little work to do on the decoration front, having had a look at that. Lots more to come on the Friday edition.
Not only does this show involve people from the community, it benefits the community in more than one way. Beyond injecting a little Christmas spirit into the audiences, the proceeds from this fundraiser go to the Upper Room Soup Kitchen and Food Bank.
It's really very important for me to be involved in my own community, doing something with 3 generations of people on stage.
Therefore, I shall have to raise your salary.
Tickets for tonight and tomorrow night are all less than $10. Last year, the show raised more than $13,000 for the food bank here. In Charlottetown, Danville, ATV News.
Terrific show.
Yeah, lots of great entertainment around the region at Christmas time. We're going to take a moment now to see who's celebrating special events in their lives today. Congratulations first off to John and Ada Nutter of Wellsford, Nova Scotia on their 50th anniversary. Love from their 2 sons, their wives, and 5 grandchildren. Allison and Zelda Briggs are also marking their golden anniversary today. They live in Wellsford, New Brunswick. No kidding, Wellsford is a popular place in several provinces. Congratulations from their daughter Jane, her husband Chris, and son Kenneth.
And William and Evelyn White are celebrating their 50th anniversary today. They live on Knoll Road, Hants County. Best wishes from their 7 children, 17 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. And if you're celebrating a special event in your life today, all the best from all of us here in the ATV Newsroom.
All right, and now we want to, on another entertainment note, we want to introduce you to a maritime band that is getting a lot of exposure these days.
Shadows of night wash up on the land. They leave no faith in Jesus and no faith in man. In that desperate hour, just before dawn, I send up a prayer for the strength to go on. Families divided and houses torn down. My brother's in hiding, my friends out of town. Father, oh Father.
That is Fire Rooster, and their music is getting a lot of attention these days as people all over the world get a chance to tune them in on the information highway. They're taking advantage of some cutting-edge computer technology, and there's no way I can explain it.
Nor I.
So we're joined now live by Bruce Nelson and David Roberts, two of the band members.
Hi,
How are you
guys.
guys doing?
Good. Good, how are you?
Great, thank you. We hear you're doing a lot of traveling, sort of, these days.
Yeah, we're cybering around the planet, actually.
Tell us about it. Just explain it to us, if you would.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, you're the man. You do it.
Basically, we're on a World Wide Web server. That's a good one. Tongue twister in California called Virtual Radio, and we're the first Canadian band on that server. And it entitles people to download Fire Rooster music to their home computers, see the band's album cover, read about the band, send us email or anything like that.
Wow, now how did you get involved with this?
Well, I'm kind of a cyber junkie, so this is my fault.
What kind of a response are you getting?
Well, we haven't been able to get the song played in our hometown, but we have got it played in Russia and New Zealand and Warwick, England, and throughout the States. So,
isn't that funny?
Not too bad.
Can we actually hear what it sounds like on the computer you've got there?
Yes, I've downloaded something off the our local server ISIS in Halifax, and I have a file here to play. This is River of Tears.
Drum roll, please.
Wash up on the land, they leave no faith in Jesus and no faith in
Gee, now, the
Sounds
audio, the sound quality sounds great from here.
It's not too bad. It's digitized, and basically this is called a WAV file, and I'm just putting it on my Sound Blaster I have at home on my computer and applying it to it.
Depending on the software you have and also speakers and stuff that you use, and it can be CD quality.
Sure, it depends on your multimedia setup at home. Now, is this the wave of the future? I mean, this is how we're going to be buying records 5 years from now, I assume, just through your home computer, right?
This is definitely going to restructure the way record companies look at artists, the way radio stations handle artists, the way record stores. They're going to have to realign and restructure their whole system because this is definitely the way of the future. There's going to be sales. The best part about it is that the person at home has access to all of this stuff.
They're making their own choices.
They make their own choices now. They're not affected by hype, for instance, or any. You know, you can call up your.
There's no hype in the music business.
Oh, there's no hype in the music business. I'm sorry.
Well, look, we thank you for taking the time out to hype your project, and all the best. I hope it turns out well for you.
Thanks a lot. We really appreciate you having us on. Thank you. See you guys later.
Good night.
Thanks a lot, guys. Exciting stuff, eh?
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, lots more to come in the second half of Live at 5 too, including the complete weekend West.
The Charlottetown waterfront certainly a busy spot these days with millions of pounds of seed and table potatoes heading for far-off lands like Algeria and Mexico. It's somewhat ironic, though, because while the export trade is booming, island French fry processors are importing potatoes these days from Manitoba and the United States to meet their processing demands. Business can be strange sometimes.
That is ironic, isn't it? That's a lot of potatoes. You could make quite a meal with that.
A lot of mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I imagine, or French
fries. A
fries.
lot of scallop potatoes.
Yes, or baked potatoes.
Are we heading for a point here?
Yes, it's Friday.
Ah, that's it. I knew we'd get to it sooner or later. And that means it's thinking about the weekend weather, hoping it's going to be nice. I know Phil said it was not going to be all that great earlier, but we'll give him another
Maybe
chance.
He's changed his mind?
What do you got for us, Phil?
Potato weather in the Maritimes coming up. Well, we have a cloud mass out to our west coming in. We had a bit of sunshine, of course, through the day in the western Maritimes, but this cloud is quickly moving in from the west, right on the heels of the one that just left. So to wake up for Saturday, or as Paul said, maybe sleep in for the day, we're going to see some wet snow going across the Maritimes, and the southern areas changing over to rain, so a messy day for Saturday. Southern Maritimes wake up to around +1, but up around the Madawaska Panhandle, -12 degrees. So a bit more snow to the north. We're looking at, again, 5 centimeters tops with this weather system going through, accumulation-wise. So for Saturday, we'll have a blend of cloud and sunshine, but some flurries working through and mixed with rain showers and snow flurries to the south. And there you can see the temperatures warming up through the day, getting above the melting point across much of mainland Nova Scotia. At the zero mark from Cape Breton to PEI and across into southern New Brunswick, and then a little cooler across the northern areas of New Brunswick. So overall, well, I said earlier a messy day, but now I want to say not too bad a day. Sunshine, back in the month of November. Let's go back and reflect back, and we had a few records in the Maritimes. A lot of sunshine across the region. In Charlottetown, they went into the record books, eclipsing the old record, 132 hours with the normal being 78. On the island at Moncton, 153 hours. That was the sunniest area in the province, or in the Maritimes for November. There you can see the normal 96, and I guess with all that sunshine in Moncton, no wonder the reservoir at Turtle Creek is dry. Back to you guys.
Yeah, well, the water problems aside, that's a very interesting weather fact because I think a lot of people, everybody's felt wonderful this November. It's been really a terrific fall in the Maritimes.
A lot of warm temperatures.
Yeah, so that sunshine thing makes sense. Hopefully it'll carry through December.
Thanks,
but
Bill. Have a
with
good
just
weekend.
snow on the ski hills, if it just snows over the ski hills,
Wouldn't that be great?
that would be perfect.
Yeah,
Those
we
isolated
should
weather
arrange that.
systems and Bermuda High for the rest of us.
Nice
Anyway, here's
idea.
what's on our primetime lineup tonight. Starts at 6:30 with Full House, and we got Coach for you at 7. Family Matters on at 7:30, and then at 8 o'clock it's White Fang. Tarzan on at 8:30. At 9 o'clock it's Unsolved Mysteries, and our movie tonight at 10 o'clock comes from 1989. Cheryl Ladd, Chris Christopherson star in it. An FAA crash investigator encounters a strange woman whose link to the plane crash is more bizarre than he could ever imagine. With a tease like that, you just have to watch Millennium tonight at 10 o'clock.
I guess so, and tune in Monday on Live at 5. You're ready to hit the stores, but you're short on ideas and shorter on cash? Don't despair. Live at 5's guide to gift buying is coming your way. Creative Christmas ideas that will not break your bank. It's advice you simply can't afford to miss. Starting Monday on Live at 5.
And that's it for the Friday edition. Have a terrific weekend, everybody.
The news continues now with Steve Murphy. Steve.
Thank you, Nancy. Tonight, SOS at Sea, a desperate mission to save 31 sailors.
There's 11 in the lifeboat, and there's 5 or more sightings in the water clinging to wreckage and life rafts.
Savage mutiny. Another grit breaks ranks over municipal merger.
I don't feel that I'm representing my people if I were to come here and vote for this bill that can mean nothing but an increase in the tax rate.
And Elsie on track. Wayne rails against the lack of passenger rail service in St. John.
Now, from the #1 news team in Atlantic Canada, the ATV Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Steve Murphy. A dramatic rescue attempt is unfolding at this hour at sea as Canadian Forces